To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand. And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice. Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi, you apologized to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi.
No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time.
That was from today's House Judiciary hearing with our Attorney General, PAM Bondi. The topic at hand, of course, was the Epstein files and all of the various ways the Trump administration has bungled the release of the said files. Now, as you just heard, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal was hoping that Bondi would apologize to the Epstein survivors. Of course, she's not going to do it. And of course, she's going to pivot to Democrats bad. And look, if I were in that room, if I were in Jayapal's shoes, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. Democrats bad. Now answer the question. It's not hard. This isn't a partisan issue because both parties have bungled this. The difference between the Democrats and Republicans, I will say, is that, well, let me just say this. I personally didn't know the extent of this giant, sprawling pedophile ring, and I didn't know its connection to foreign intelligence until fairly recently. So that's really the only difference. Like, Democrats didn't really call for it because it wasn't really one of their focuses. The Republican Party has been hyper-focused on this Epstein story. So when you have the candidate who dangled the Epstein file carrot for constituents so they'll vote for him, and when he filled his cabinet with the who's who of Epstein commentators, Bongino, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, yeah, people are gonna expect you to do what you said you were gonna do. And the fact that it's been very clear that this administration could not care less about the actual survivors, yeah, that has led to a lot of fury, a lot of anger, a lot of upset. But here's what's also really fascinating. We learned during this hearing that Pam Bondi had certain notes, and she wasn't savvy enough to keep those notes under wrap. So there were reporters, journalists on the scene. They took a picture of her notes, and you're about to find out what those notes were. Take a look.
Another photograph for you to take a look at. These are notes that the Attorney General brought to the hearing today. Okay, it was captured by a photographer who was in the room. And this shows a list of Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, you saw her in some of those clips, of her search history. And this, of course, lawmakers are allowed now to go to a DOJ facility, to sit down at a computer and to search unredacted files. We have learned from this photo that the searches that members of Congress are performing are apparently being tracked and then read by the Department of Justice, by the Attorney General.
A little questionable when the Attorney General is more concerned about the Epstein file search history of our lawmakers as opposed to, investigating the various co-conspirators who are emailing back and forth all sorts of disgusting garbage with Jeffrey Epstein, before he was finally arrested and then very likely murdered in prison. Very likely. Although there's some indication that he might not have even been killed. There's some indication that there was a body, like there was a decoy used. I mean, these files are outrageous, and I wish we had a little more clarity, a little more of an investigation into what the reality is. But here's the thing, like you have to realize that these people don't really care to get to the bottom of anything. Bondi is more concerned about ammo to fight her political opponents. That's the most important thing in the world. But protecting Americans and especially American children, not really the most important thing on her mind right now. I mean, they'll pretend they care about predators whenever they're trying to convince us all that